just be 12 stars will be one more than what Betatron will come in with if they don't come in with any triples at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. They are having a rough time, Betatron, but let's see if they can at least get a couple of triples in. This attack, I want to talk about it once more. It was so unfortunate not getting down this Archer Tower and thus having the cleanup taken out, but this attack was really a display of perfect spell deployment. I already said it when he was dropping the rage spell on the queen for this single target Inferno. He didn't only drop it at like the free spell, for the single target Inferno, but also the rage spell he dropped right afterwards. He placed perfectly so that not just the healers and not just the queen are inside, but both of them for the longest possible time. So the queen, even though they popped the Skelly spell, could take out the single Inferno while she was in the rage with just 4 shots. And that is always very important, so you don't have to use another free spell. I'll talk about it more in a second, but we're seeing once again a Warden with a Blimp card.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. Oh no, here we go. Can the Blimp take the town hall down? Invis. Rage, we had Goblins. Okay, he went with the save for Blimp. 3, I think. Okay, yes, Tower does go down. And you probably noticed you saw extra Goblins, and he only had 3 Super Wizards, right? Why would he put 3 Super Wizards and not the typical 4, Max?
He wants to have more room in his Blimp to put in some troops to trigger traps. So that's the first reason. And the second reason is the Super Wizards will then come out of the Blimp later. It's pretty much the same reason as you said before with the minions you want to put in the safe Blimp. They also delay the deployment of the Super Goblins out of the Blimp. So these are basically the 2 reasons, triggering traps and delaying the Super Wizards getting out of the Blimp. And this time we actually saw a perfect Super Wizard Blimp here by Psycho. He got exactly the value he wanted, everything around the Town Hall Dawn, multi-Inferno scatter shots. So now we have to see what his Sui can do.
Yeah, the goal here is to clear all these expos, the Eagle Artillery, so his heroes can continue their way through. Because remember, the ground expos obviously won't do anything to your Lalo, but you have to also fight your way through an enemy queen near that scatter shot with no Warden. It's going to be a little annoying to make his way around if he goes into some red air bombs, because he can't protect these balloons through a red air bomb minefield, but he hastes his way through. It's looking good so far as he still has his way to. Oh, but there's a tornado! But he should have a lot left.
It's still not looking too bad because he started Lalo so early, as Itsu yesterday referenced, that his heroes are still alive. He's got a full life queen with ability. This is looking rushed, and I think a major role, the fact that he got so much value with his Super Wizard Blimp played a major role, in how easily he could overpower this base with his hero dive plus the Lalo.
Yeah, beautiful job right there from Psycho, from Betatron. Finally, they are able to connect with their first 3-star here in this match, which will put them up to 8. But obviously the best you can get is going to be the 11 stars. Not be able to win this one if we just see another 2-star, right? They are up by quite a bit. But we've seen in attacks where other attacks, not to say this war, but you have to drop your troops at the end to get the cleanup because time can be a factor. And when you're worried about time and cleanup, that's where your clanmates can come in and help. So my question, I'm wondering in terms of for a pro player, do you have anyone on your team, any clanmates that are in voice chat with you that are just strictly watching to help you drop a certain troop? And then do you have another clanmate that's like watching to pop your queen ability so you don't miss it? Or is there certain clanmates that have certain roles in when they're spotting you? Or is like one supposed to talk to you? Like walk me through, how does that work when you're attacking with your team?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I always thought that having the ability to have teammates on voice that can spot for you is very, very valuable. The thing is, though, that people are different. There are some people that like to be fully focused and not have anyone talk while they're attacking, and then there are some people that are able, to filter the important things that they are hearing on void and just not listen to the rest. So it really depends. So in my opinion, it is important to get to know your clan mates when it comes to this. After a while, you will know who likes to get calls, who likes to get witch calls. You will also know who has the best overview. In fact, it depends also whether you're playing with the double or the single troop deployment bar, because when you have the double deployment bar, you see less at the bottom of your screen. So these guys, like I was one of these guys, are relying a little bit more on some spotters at the end, telling them where they have some more buildings left. But there's actually it's really, really individual. But let's see what Romeo is doing while I've been talking.
Well, he popped his ward building really early. Right there, I was just going to see, that could be a huge issue as he tries to jump his king into the town hall with a flame slinger into the Eagle Artillery to help grab that, racing up the screen to keep her going. There's his face. Does reroute this king out of the town hall, but will he have enough health? So he is going to go with a rage, and town hall is secured here as he will have it's going to be a clean-up Lalo if his queen continues her way through.
Yeah, this is a crazy approach that he's choosing here. I've actually never seen it. Look at this wall break. Oh my god, it's working. He can now he can take out the multi with his queen, and as you said, it really is the definition of a clean-up Lalo. Pretty much just one compartment left in his face while the queen is taking out the last air defense. A incredible plan here by Romeo. Wow, I mean, it seems like Lizzie has been very, very proud of him after yesterday's triple. And got him motivated for yet another one. This is an overkill and a beautiful and very creative plan that we have, I don't know if rarely or not at all, seen before. Good job, Romeo.
Beautiful. What a great attack here with the jump and the King Warden going all the way for the Town Hall and planning for the King to eventually then take it down and investing even a Rage Bell to help grab that. Fantastic, which puts them up to 13. We know they're going to win this match here, but we'll still see if Betatron can close it out with a triple. Since this is the lower bracket, that means that Betatron unfortunately won't be able to advance. They will be eliminated because they won't be able to get enough stars and percentage to defeat Renegados. And Renegados will still have a chance. They will await the winner of the other lower bracket, which is Strut and Empire Gaming.
Exactly, and Betatron have done a great job. They faced SSG, one of the teams who have not lost so far, and only got a bad war against them, which is what sent them here. They have had a great victory in their first war, and they have come so far. They are top 6 of this tournament with 100s of teams that have taken part in. So definitely congratulations to them, and they can walk out of here with their head held high because they did a great job. But Renegados was the better team in this war, so they are the deserved winner, especially with these very impressive attacks that they are showing. So it seems like Renegados is getting more and more one of the secret favorites for this one. I mean, they started off with the 10-star war, remember, but now they are putting up 14s and 13s all the way with very impressive attacks and also very diverse attack strategies. So they are very hard to predict for their opponent. Excited to see more of them later.
Yeah, with the blimp. Okay, we got the blimp Yetis. Okay. We have the Yeti Bites going to be able to grab the Eagle Artillery. Pacifarm looks to be near this area. Will they? Okay. Well, it only grabs one Tesla. Too bad it doesn't grab multiple here. But this Queen is going to try to path her way in eventually towards this Town Hall here. He has to have a jump spell, so he's getting the only way to get to that Town Hall is through the openings. Oh no, there's two. There's one right behind the Wizard Tower as well.
Yes, you're right, but it's always so hard to funnel all the relevant buildings in time to get a queen walk into one of these holes. But it looks good. I mean, there's everything gone, but the multi-inferno is taking damage on the healers. Okay, good freeze. I think that was important because you never know how many red mines you will find later on. But a lot of damage getting down on this queen now as the CC is lured out while the queen and scattershot are both shooting at her. So that's going to be very interesting now. Good freezes.
Yeah, I think that poison could have maybe been placed a little bit to the left, could have maybe clipped that enemy queen just a bit, but able to keep that queen up, going through, to be able to then eventually take the town down with her ability as a royal champion's going over to the right side, grabbing some Teslas, and then be able to skip. Oh, even more. All the Teslas are popping up right over here as the Warden is now being deployed.
Yeah, and he did very, very well keeping his queen alive. That a royal champion, oh no, as I'm saying, can get good value. She's running, she's following some skeletons into the town hall poison. That is unfortunate, but the warden ability is used perfectly. But now the red mines, once again, red mines are making a Lalo fall short, but he's got the queen, but she's in the single inferno. Oh my god, the warden is alive. I think he's getting it. Oh my god, that was so clutch.
Wow. Look at that. At least they are able to hold their heads high with closing it out with a 3-star. Hammy, very nice indeed with that blimp to grab the eagle, grab some value to help set that funnel for the queen, which means that Renegados is going to be victorious here in the lower bracket and advancing to keep their hopes alive.
Yes, very good job to them. We're going to take a look at the player stats, I think, now. And first of all, the match stats, you can see 95%. So as I said before, after their first war that wasn't going too great for them, they have really recovered well and are putting out the numbers now like the teams, like the other teams in the winners bracket. So very good job. And here we can see the player stats. Unfortunately, the 1-star once again at the start gave Renegados obviously a head start and made it easy for them to stay relaxed and stay calm while Betatron had their backs against the wall for the whole thing. But it was a great war, great showing by both teams. We say goodbye to Betatron and we welcome Renegados to the next round.
Yeah, congrats to Renegados. But let's go and take a look before we get into the next match. A replay and breakdown and attack from that match from J. Carlo. So coming in with the Dragon, having a Lava Hound as well. And the big thing when you use an attack like this, and you'll notice at the end, as he has quite a bit of spells, is you want your Dragon Riders, whatever that main army, even if it's the Heat Dragon, if you send them and they kill the whole floor, then your heroes, your King, Queen, and Royal Champion, can then come around the edge and get so much value. It's pretty crazy how much value they can get. As the dragons are coming in around here, they're going to make their way through, and having a Lava Hound is nice. When you want to help protect, let's say, the dragon straight up into an air defense, maybe a little bit later, or you could do straight up right away. But you'll notice how as he pops this blimp, or the warden ability, for the blimp all the way across is a typical thing you like to do. And he does even find the tornado trap, but something that he ends up doing here is the invisibility spell right onto the Yetis, which is interesting, as he makes his way, grabs the town hall, but he also takes the single target inferno down, just like that. As the dragons cleared a bunch of the core here, then the heroes are coming towards the left side and be able to make their way all the way up, as the heroes will take out everything on the edge and then into the final compartment. It seems like a lot of these attacks today have been finding the Tessiforms on the back ends of the bases, just a lot of times the luck of the draw when it comes to that. But we have a Royal Champion that's still alive, King ability. We have 2 Rages that can still be utilized as the Royal Champion. I don't know. I personally may have decided to send the RC pick off that multi, but remember, it's a multi at the end of the day, as you can have the King and his Barbarians tank for your Royal Champion. So if you end on a multi, it's not that bad, right, with your hero, because it doesn't do too crazy amount of damage, not like a scatter shot, Tesla's farms, and things like that with that rage. So Jay Carlos from Renegados, really nice attack here, getting it done with the triple, even saving a few little racket loons. But this was the first match of today. We are going to have at least 6 total matches, maybe a 7th if the grand finals is forced to a second match because of the double elimination. The next match that we're going to have is going to be between Strut and Empire Gaming here in the lower bracket. So let's go ahead and send it over to Itsu and Eve Maxi to bring you guys that match.
Thank you very much, Carbon Finn, and welcome back, Itsu.
Thank you. Looking forward to some nice matches. You did already really good on that first one. And now the next one, we have Empire Gaming versus Strut, who got knocked into this lower bracket from Tribe yesterday. And I mean, it's hard to say that they really lost because it was like 15 stars, like perfect results on both sides. So Empire Gaming, a lot of people are saying they are like the dark horse. They're like the underdog everyone is cheering for. And I think this should be a really intense match.
Absolutely. I mean, once again, if you look at the paper, just at the stats, probably Strut would be the favorite if you had to bet or based on stats. But we all know that it can change match to match, and Empire Gaming have shown a great war so far. In fact, they lost their first war in the winners bracket with a tie, so just on percentage. So they have been doing really great. They have had a lot of time fails as well, and I think that they're not an important that Strut has played against too often. So it is harder for Strut to predict, to estimate what exactly they will do on their bases. And on the other hand, Strut is a very, very popular team that has been streamed many, many times. So that might be a slight advantage for Empire Gaming as we take a look at the rosters. Empire Gaming coming in with Specs, Anthony, Shadow, Jesus, and Smokey Bear. And we see Strut on the other side, Itsu.
That's right, and we know those names: Musk, Ast, Boom, Yo-Yo, and Tryhard. Those guys are already around for quite some time in the pro scene, and this is supposed to be their tournament for the golden ticket, to make sure that they have this guaranteed spot in the Clash Worlds finals later this year. And as I said, the stats are showing that Strut is the favorite. I think the average destruction is wrong on the Strut side because they were, it should be like 69, I think. So there's 9's supposed to be, but
96.
as well, like Musk. Musk with still 9 out of 10, Jesus still 6 out of 6. So a lot of those guys have incredible high hit rates. And as we have seen yesterday, those teams, it really depends on how good they're showing up in this specific match, because those stats, like those are the average stats from the past. We are now playing in this moment with this result then, which is going to decide if you're dropping out of the tournament or if you are keeping your streak alive and having a chance at the golden ticket.
That is absolutely true, and I'm very, very excited to see the very good both of them on offense. But about how you already have, and then change the traps to fit for a certain opponent. So I'm pretty sure that both of these teams have tried to prepare as best as possible for the opponent and change the traps around, maybe even chose some bases out of their base pool for certain players. So I'm very excited about that, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Strut so far have changed their defensive side quite many times. They have started into the group stage with anti-3-star bases, and so far they ran them all the way until yesterday, where they have faced Tribe Gaming, and then they switched to a different base style. I think they used those box bases. And now the question is if they're going to do the same thing against Empire. Maybe they have prepared some anti-2-star bases because they're saying, okay, maybe that that's the weakness for the Empire guys. It's really depending on how the base building team is like predicting what the opponent is maybe not really liking to attack that much. In addition to that, you have to remember both of those teams are getting streamed quite a bit because they were playing in the ESL Europe division, and then Empire was playing in the NA division over there as well. So both teams should know each other, and now it's getting ready because we have the first attack with the Sui Lalo, with the Hero Dive Lalo, with the Flame Flinger to start things off.
And I think it's a Skelly Donut as well, because otherwise I wouldn't know what. Yeah, there we go. What he's going to use this attack, as we've seen some Skelly Donuts also fail yesterday, but this is looking great. Specs doing a very impressive job there with his. Send his king somewhere where it tanks the ground ball. Even wrong, it's a.
Yeah, but there's a lot of skeletons at that queen, so Strat again on the defensive side, just a couple of steps ahead. Even more skeletons are coming up over there. There's now the third ground skeleton, which is on that side, the defending king. Having some problems at the queen ability is getting forced early on. This queen was supposed to get that town hall down, and now he's struggling quite a bit to get that because yes, there is still the freezes left, but he planned those freezes for the Lalo. He's right now really struggling, trying to use those freezes now. He has to invest both of them to get the value to make sure that town hall is going down, but still the town hall, that's going to be a close call, but it should go down. But that means no freezes left at this point anymore, Marxi.
He knew exactly that it was worth to use these free spells, and in my opinion, if he can use a good Warden ability, he doesn't really need the freezes here. So it was more important to take out the Town Hall, otherwise he would have had to Lalo into the Town Hall. There goes the Warden ability through the Scatter Shot and Itsu. I think this can be enough, but we'll have to wait and see what the traps are doing on this base.
Yeah, we see so many times those red bombs behind the town hall, located around that Inferno Tower area. And the Inferno Tower so far is doing really good job of taking those loons out one by one. There's the first couple of black mines. Their defenses keep staying up. There's the tornado trap, but no red bombs. Now it's all about that single Inferno Tower. That Warden is doing a really good job with it all together.
No way, the Warden finishing it off. This got so close. Just one black mine maybe for either the loon or the owl or the Warden would have made this a lot easier. If we look at the town at the bottom, and Specs is showing it into the camera close, but we are going to take it for sure. So very good start by Empire Gaming, putting a bit of pressure on Strat.
Yeah, really nicely done. That's exactly what they had to start with, to pressure Strat, because they were so good as well yesterday. And we have seen most of the time they're getting those 14 Star Wars in, which means for Empire Gaming, they really have to deliver on the same level, because 14 stars are somewhat expected. And it's now all about the percentage. Like if you have this one fail, it's all about the percentage, or even going all the way of going to get those 15 stars, which we don't see that often. I mean, yes, we have seen plenty of 14 stars matches so far, but 15 is more like a rare thing, and only 2 of those teams really got that done multiple times over the group stage and then the playoff phase so far. So Strat is now next, and we have us attacking, and we have again the anti-2-star bases for Empire Gaming. I remember yesterday, Chessbank had to attack this space as well, and they struggled quite a bit with Queen Charge Hybrid. But now us says, okay, I got this. Let's put the Light Dragons in there, and let's watch how those chains are going completely take down this space.
Yes, very interesting to see. Us really likes his air troops, his dragon attacks with any type of dragon recently. Just taking apart this core of the base, Town Hall done. Everything is looking very good for us. fast, as the damage is usually very clumped up in the center of these types of bases.
Yeah, now it's all about this backhand. Like when you're having those Electric Dragon attacks, it's all about taking down the main damage to have your heroes then finish off the base. And this means Expos are a prime target. So far, there is 2 Expos left alive, and there's a defending King and a defending Royal Champion, which can still make the life of those heroes quite miserable. So, Royal Champion and King are engaging versus the defending Royal Champion, the defending King. Electric Dragon, meanwhile, with their Queen together, taking down the last Expo, and that should be a 3-star for Strut. And we have seen that yesterday. The time is pretty good on this one. It's only 1 minute and around about 30 seconds at this point gone within the attack. And that should be a really quick 3-star, which is a solid start into the attack. And Us is already celebrating. He knows that this is an easy 3-star for him. Nicely done. And that is most of the time this weakness of those anti-2-star bases, because they are just so compact within the core. And that being said, it's like really hard then for Electric Dragons to not get really good chains off and deal a lot of damage.
Exactly. It seems like Ast or maybe Strut total their approach a bit and their for quickly.
Okay, I think we have lost Maxi, but hopefully he's back soon with then some nice more commentary. But we're about to get into the next attack after both teams have started off strong with some nice 3-stars. We are then going to watch the next attack from Empire Gaming. They have started with Lalo, and so far they have done some incredible Lalo attacks over this weekend, and they will most likely continue with that. They have used the different siege machines as opening. They have used a lot of times as well the Blizzard to great success. Remember, we have the player Jesus on their team, who is still perfect, like 6 out of 6 attacks, if we can trust those stats. And he has done a lot of those times, I think all of the times actually, with like Blizzard Lalo, which was incredible successful for him. He got some great value with that, and he was most of the time in the 2nd or 3rd attack position. So we can get ready for and hype for some great attacks from the Empire side to make sure that they're staying close and keep pressuring Strut, because that's a really important thing. We have seen that yesterday in the last attack of Tribe Gaming. Those players are no robots. They feel the pressure, and we have seen that with Exorcist shaking quite a bit. I mean, in the end, he like got his hands up, and they were shaking so much. So remember, when your hands are shaking, it's quite hard to actually pull off like a skelly donut or things like that. So it is always to be considered that if you're putting up the pressure to your enemy team, that is really, really important. We have the next attack in, and that is going to be a super boulder smash on those, on those box bases. It is quite successful a lot of times and really hard to defend, especially with the crazy blimp like this, taking down the Eagle, taking down the core Inferno Tower already. At this point, take a look at that. Behind those Expos, all of this base is wide open. He does not even need a lot of spells, a lot of wall breakers to get further into this base at this point. So it looks incredible as an opening. Wall break not opening that much though. The super boulders are in. And the funnel, the pathing is created because those super boulders, those troops cannot go anywhere else except following this path around this top side and getting closer to that defending town hall. So, jump spell is placed. The only thing is though, that this town hall with the town of poison might cause a lot of problems. There's 2 expos, 2 heroes, the Royal Champ and the Queen, surrounding that town hall and trying to defend it as good as they can. The King funneling nicely, but wait a second, the King stole those healers. The King stealing the healers is never a good thing. 1 healer came back, but 1 black mine, and this healer is gone. The trap keeping those super bowlers out of range of the town of poison so far, but they're right back running into it to make sure that the town of poison is getting some value. Now it's all about the backhand. The backhand, we have the king onto the defensive side still left, and the scatter as well, which is a huge threat to anything which is coming close. Warden is surviving for now at least. That Town of Poison, the Royal Champion, now taking over the charge into that scatter compartment. There is one wall break which he could use. Okay, which he could use at the gold storage, I wanted to say, but the super bowlers are working their way around the outside anyway. So that wall break was really nicely done. Can freeze if he wants to. He's trying to take down the scatter with that Royal Champion. That would be great. 50 seconds left, so time is not that big of a problem, especially now with that scatter shot going down and the Queen back again at full HP. We can already see the player ring in with still some more seconds to go. But with that Queen ability, that should be the next play star. You can see the device. There we go. Nicely done by Anthony. And he is doing a small celebration dance. And Marty, you're back. I hope everything is working now.
Exactly. Yeah, it is absolutely, and it was exactly the type of hype I needed after coming back from Anthony. What a nice dance to celebrate it. Anthony the Dad, as it seems like, the super dad, as it seems from his pictures at the bottom of the screen, coming in with the 3-star and throwing it back to Strut, who have to triple now as well to tie it up again.
Yep, that's right. It's now back in the tribe. And I always say, because I remember this match of yesterday, this match was so insane. Back to Strut in their corner, and they have to deliver now again. And that's always the thing. I feel like from your perspective, because you were playing in a similar meta overall, what was your favorite position to attack? We have heard in earlier metas, like where it was maybe more defensive orientated, it was a lot of times that the team which was attacking second had an advantage. In this one, who do you think has the advantage on this high level when you really say, okay, most of the time those people are getting 3 stars? So what do you think?
That's a very good question. For me personally, it was always better to attack second, because the advantage is you just have more planning time. And I was always able to not care too much about what the other team did, but there are, some players let it get to them more. So for them, it would probably be better to not have to worry about the attacks of the opponents, or that they have already tripled and they are fine with having less time to plan, So it's a little bit individual and depending on the player and how much you care about this psychological aspect. But yeah, it's a very interesting question, and let's see what Yo-Yo could do in this very little time he had to plan this attack.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of those anti-2-star bases keep coming in for Empire, and we're seeing a lot of those dragon attacks, and that is so many loons cloned within the core of that base to completely obliterate it, but not only to take down defenses, as well to trigger traps. So far this looks good, especially when we're talking again about the damage contribution and what those troops are supposed to take down. They're supposed to take down the Expos, so the heroes, your main army, which they always are because they are just so strong. If your main army keeps staying alive, which are those heroes, and there's not too much damage on them, the attack is looking great, and there's only one Expo left at this point.
Exactly, and he's got the Queen and the Royal Champion ability, which will really help him towards the end of this attack. The Royal Champion, she has got so many HP, so many hit points. A multi-inferno basically does nothing to her health, and there we go, another 3-star and another very quick attack under 2 minutes for Yo-Yo. So putting the pressure back on Empire Gaming, but they know they just have to keep on tripling. I mean, it was probably the same for Strut yesterday. When your opponent is tripling as well, you shouldn't too much concentrate on doing quick attacks, because in my opinion, it is better to stay with your plan, to 3-star the base, because that is the most important thing, and then put the pressure on your opponent, so hope that they will fail at some point. If you would just throw E-Dragons on a base to maybe triple quickly, but you don't do it, usually you run into a high risk of a fail.
Yeah, I think we have seen that in a lot of different matches, not specifically in this tournament, but overall in different tournaments where other clans are just getting forced to, they feel they're getting forced to attack with Electro Dragons or something which might not really fit to that certain base style. But you have to give Strut that those bases, those anti-two-star bases, just in general, are getting countered by those air attacks, because those bases are set up to make ground troops really, really hard to use and funnel them in the right direction. But with air, you just don't care if there's walls, if that's a ring base or if it's a box base, whatever. They just go straight through that base, and that's it. And with the town being so centered in those bases, you can take them out, and most of the time you took down even the majority of expos, so heroes can take over. So those base types are really fitting right now for this attack strategy, and that's something which Strut has always done, right? Like, they have always adapted to the right bases with the correct strategies, and that's what makes them somewhat unique as well right now in one of those top teams.
Yes, that's true. The Strut really don't seem to struggle at all with any base type so far, so we have yet to see their weakness at some point. Their weakness yesterday were slow attacks. As Stripe was just tripling out quicker, but yeah, I'm joking, it's not really a weakness, but they're even taking care of that. Even though it's not a weakness, they are doing quick 3-star attacks today, so it is really impressive to see. And I'm really excited to see if they can get through the lower bracket, or if Empire Gaming keep on making it hard for them, as Shadow is coming in with a Queen Charge hybrid. It's one of your favorite attack strategies.
And I think it's just so underrated right now, because it can be so powerful, and especially if the other team is not really expecting it. It can be such a powerful strategy, because we have seen even yesterday that some of those hybrids have nearly still worked, even though they were baited into oblivion. It kind of feels like. So we're looking forward to see what Shadow can do now with this strategy, trying to break into this bottom side of the town hall compartment. At the same time, early on, taking down the Eagle to lure off the Clan Castle, in addition to create better pathing then, because take a look at that. Either scatter wherever he's going to start. Those hybrid troops, those miner, those hog riders are going to go straight into the core and clear out all of those defenses in there.
Yes, absolutely. He's shaped the base beautifully for his purposes. The only thing I'm a little worried about is time, because the blimp plus CC lure and CC kill with the Queen took very long, and when the Queen will get the Town Hall in like 20 seconds, that's as early as he can start the hybrid. But let's see, maybe he goes even a little earlier. But what I'm excited to see is the tornado trap now for the hybrid, already starting at the top side. Very nice. I'm excited about the tornado trap, because we have seen Strut baiting exactly these types of attacks: Town Hall charges and then hybrids.
Yeah, we have already seen the first couple of Hog Riders and Miners flying away. That's the big weakness of the strategy. This brain traps, there is not much counterplay. It's like only praying that maybe Lassie or maybe the King is triggering those traps. And with that, your Hog Riders and Miners are staying safe. Yes, still another heal spell to place. This Queen is staying, never mind, I was about to say she's staying safe for now, but that's exactly the moment where she is getting targeted by the single front tower. It's now all about the single and the defending Queen. We have some miners at that defending Queen. He has to freeze, and there's one headhunter coming in as well. Nicely timed.
Yes, in fact, I think it's looking very good. Once again, a Tesla farm at the end of the attack, but as the King ability may be a little too late, because the troops are not getting funneled into the core. Neither the RC nor the miners are going to the single target Inferno, but he also still has a Queen at the bottom of the base, still going strong with her ability, but Itsu, the timer, is ticking down. Yeah, he's using the invisibility spell, but he has to get to the Inferno Tower and to the Clan Castle, and he's just got 10 seconds left.
Oh no, the Queen now cannot reach their Clan Castle. The Clan Castle is low. Okay, Warden! Come on, okay, Warden, go together.
Oh.
But no way. No way. I'm not sure if that Warden would have had attacked first the Inferno Tower, maybe it would have went down quicker. Because the first shot of the Warden surprisingly went onto the Clan Castle, even though the Royal Champ targeted the Inferno Tower. So big question mark to me. Maybe it could have been the big difference between this 99 and 100%. It would have been a close call anyways, especially time-wise, because we nowadays have to talk about time with those teams at the highest level. But this is going to be a 99%, which means now Strut might have the advantage if they can triple some more times.
Exactly. Once again, we're in a situation where it matters if you have started attacking or if you're the second to attack after the other team. And as you said, it seems like Strut is in a better position now, but they have to triple first. So it's actually, they cannot be too happy before they've already tripled themselves. And then again, as Carbon said yesterday, if you fail, you want to fail with a 99%. So if Strut does any fail now, it is very likely that Empire Gaming will be at the top. So it's pretty much the same situation for Strut. They have to triple or they are not in the lead anymore. And Musk is coming in with his favorite strategy that we haven't seen from him in a while, the Lalo.
That's right. The Yeti Mites are... No!
Ui.
The Yeti Mites are not going to take down that Inferno Tower. It was set up nicely, but that Inferno Tower just staying alive, especially what he did there with using the Clan Castle troops to have those Yetis getting lured inside the base. That was really nicely done. But in the end, the problem is just that the Inferno Tower is having too many hit points and the defending Clan Castles took down those Yetis a bit too quick. So now the question is, how much of an impact is this going to have? Because yes, he's playing Lado, and yes, in those Lado attacks, you're most of the time diving forward to that town hall. If you're not getting it down, that's a huge problem. We have seen so many fails because of that.
Exactly. He has the jump spell, so we can be sure that he is wanting to or trying to get the town hall down, and the queen. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how close she gets to the single Inferno, but yeah, there we go. She's getting locked onto, but luckily she goes exactly to this Inferno right away. He can invis her, and even the king is going in, so this should be an easy town hall takedown? Question mark, Skelly Trap, Itzu, what is happening?
What is happening? There's the question which I'm asking myself as well, but the queen is now taking over with her ability. That shouldn't be any problems. The Lalo now taking over the top side, but the town has to go down, and it is the queen with her ability. Those Loons have to somehow skip the majority of those red mines, which are most of the time located in the core. This freeze is incredible, but the red mines are hitting hard.
Uh-oh, he's running out of juice quicker than he wanted. Back and Testa farm once again, I can't say it too often, and the red mines once again. We're seeing so many red mines today having an impact on attacks, and this is a fail. We know this for sure. The Warden cannot save this anymore, so this is going to be a lower fail than Empire Gaming, and that means that Empire Gaming will be in the lead after this attack, and this attack was from the MVP. Musk was 9 out of 10, Itzu.
Yeah, that is a really, really unfortunate outcome. But that just this backhand, like a Scatter and Eagle is already scary. But adding an entire Tesla farm, adding really well-placed traps to it, that is just a nightmare for any Lado attack. And trust me, this base is going to be everywhere in Legends the next couple of days. I mean, there's some YouTubers who are going to make sure that this is going to happen, but this means get ready to attack it, maybe copy it yourself so you can test it and see how you can 3-star, because this base is going to get copied quite a bit because it's holding Musk, one of the MVPs, who said it, back from Strut. And that was a really crucial defense, because now, said it, Strut is having not the advantage anymore. They had to 3-star to gain the advantage because we had the 99% from Empire before, but with being below that 99% mark, this means now if Empire is going 2 out of 2, they can easily win. By easily, I mean it's still hard, but like from our perspective, after the last couple of matches and the results. But yeah, they have to now go to 2 out of 2, and Strut can do nothing about that.
Exactly, and we already know who will attack for them. It's EG Jesus, and in the end it will be Smokey Bear finishing it off, I think. And both of them have shown great attacks so far, and we see Jesus as we have seen him before attack with the Super Wizard Blim. So very interesting to see now if he is maybe running into a bait by Strut, because they are known for their perfect baits, especially against Blims. But it seems that they have not seen this exact entry point.
Yeah, he's already getting quite some nice value. The Royal Champion, though, is always turned invisible, which means the Royal Champion is staying alive. Now the invisibility spell, not sure if it was worth it just for that air defense. Is he going to get the Royal Champ? No, the Royal Champ is going to stay alive. So the last invisibility spell was a heavy investment, but the clan castle and this entire compartment was taken care of. And take a look at that pathing now. I feel like, yes, the blizzard value itself is one part of the story, but the pathing for the heroes then which you're creating has to work with that as well. And that queen towards the town hall looks beautiful.
Yep, absolutely. And even though the Super Wizards didn't take out the Royal Champion, they did take out the King. And we know that usually the King can be a problem when it comes to deploying headhunters, because they sometimes tend to go to this King instead of the female and air attacking hero you want them to go to. And we can see as the Queen is making her way into the Town Hall and he's realizing he doesn't need the King there, his King making his way into the top side, and the Royal Champion even got damaged a little bit more from this baby dragon. Maybe Invis on the Queen. There we go. So the Queen can easily take the Town Hall out. And now, oh my god, he's even sending in the Royal Champion. She will take care of the multi and the Royal Champion. And since time is running low, he is also starting the Lalo Itzu.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting to get the wall break in because he has this one wall break for the King. But I guess the Yak is going to do a good job as well of that. With those headhunters now coming in, the defending Queen is getting taken care of really quickly, and only this one multi-throne tower compartment is left standing, which is actually a big threat to this Lalo. And now we have some red mines coming in as well, and we know after the latest buff to the red mines, they are hurting quite a bit. Loops are getting taken care of left and right, but the single throne tower, there's another freeze. And that means there's not much left. Only the one wizard tower which went down from the Royal Champion. This one cannon cannot shoot air, so this Lalo is going to 3-star.
Yes, exactly. He is getting it done, and now Strut must feel a lot of pressure as he's rubbing his hands in excitement, and it's totally understandable. They're facing one of the best opponents, and they're not just in the lead. They even got one more triple now, and yeah, pressure is on for Strut. They have to get a defense, so they can't change anything on their bases, but that's really what it's all about. Now they have to get a defense. Incredible job by Empire Gaming so far.
Yeah, and I feel like overall the game plan from Empire was really good. I mean, you have to really give them props for that because Strut really likes to do those sometimes as well complex attacks. Yes, they have those couple of attackers who like to do those E-Dragon attacks or who are willing to do those E-Dragon or Dragon attacks in general, but they have a lot of attackers who like the Queen Charge Lalo, like Blizzard Lalo, like Sui Lalo, those more complex strategies. And those strategies forced onto ring bases, forced onto those anti-2-star legend bases, they sometimes feel a little bit hard to execute or like unnecessary hard to execute because we have seen the Electro Dragon attack earlier today and that just completely overtook the base. And you can see again another anti-2-star setup with this time again Blizzard Lalo, so they're really trying to force those, and there we go with the bait. But at the same time, is that even like a problem? I mean, he's going to take care of the Expo and the Scatter, but it seems like not any more value for now.
Yeah, I mean, in the compartment he landed in, unfortunately, there was not really more value. I think he hoped to get into this compartment where he could reach both multi-infernos, but he probably knew that it's likely to be baited, or not really baited, but it's defended with black mines, and that was exactly the case. So I am sure that Boom has a game plan for the Blimp getting exactly that value as well. And with the Ice Golem and the King, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there is so much around this bottom side, the Warden, the enemy heroes, and now we see a full Tesla farm and Skelly's popping. So once again, the right call from the base builders. Let's see it. So if he can get his heroes into the Town Hall.
Yeah, so far the King is running in, but the Tesla on the outside might lure that Queen back to the outside. The Queen has to get that Town Hall. So far she's completely avoiding that Tesla. What is that? He's just playing with a controller or a joystick or something, leading that Queen directly into that Town Hall. Like, that was crazy. With that, the Town Hall compartment. No, that invisibility spell was quite a heavy investment because that Roy Champ needs to take down the multi-effort, or at least that's what he's trying to do, but he's not going to do so. The Lala already started. The multitasking is just getting harder and harder.
Yes, absolutely. But you can see that Boom is not just a pro, but he is a pro with Blizzard Lalo, because it's actually a strategy that he has used a long time in Legend League as well. And to be honest, he is coming into the backend with the Warden ability at this point. So even a red mine farm most likely cannot avoid this triple anymore. And there come a couple of red mines, but this is just overpowering the base. Yeah, very good job by Boom here, and yeah, he knew that it would be enough to get the blimp into this compartment, and he was completely right, getting the triple. So holding strong, even though the pressure is on for Strat. So now it's back to Empire Gaming, and they can win now if they triple it. So what a crazy situation. What goes through your head if you are in this situation? I mean, you've done it. I was with you when you've done it in the last attack, but like, how do you calm yourself down?
That's not really working that often. It's just like, please don't let me fail. Please don't let me fail. Please don't let me fail. That's like more the approach overall, which I have chosen most of those times where I had to get the 3-star in, and you were holding my hands to make sure that I was not taking too much. But like overall, I feel like there is no best way on approaching like such a high pressure moment, and everyone is dealing different with that, for sure. And well, I mean, it's easier said than done. I mean, from like this part, from our perspective, is way easier than for the players, because we can now talk over it, like say, yeah, that was obvious. He did that wrong. He did that wrong. Yeah, but I mean, come on, like that's not really how easy it is then from a player's perspective, and especially in this high pressure moment, you might miss some things which are then getting spotted from another perspective where we can be relaxed about this. And yeah, it is a different approach overall, but I feel for the last attackers because it is crazy how much pressure is on their shoulders.
Absolutely. But one more thing where I think Empire Gaming might have an advantage is Smokey Bear is their last attacker, I think, in every single war. So he knows the pressure of the last attack. While Strut, I think, is mostly switching around with the last attacker. This time it's going to be Tryhard, who hasn't attacked so far. And we have seen him as opening attacker as well sometimes. So let's see how well they can handle the pressure. But Smokey Bear is in as I'm speaking. And once again, he's coming in with the Inferno Baby Dragon. So do you think that Strut have even thought about this strategy when choosing their bases and when setting the traps?
I'm not sure. Like with this strategy, I mean, that's not really my comfort zone. Let's put it like that. So I'm not sure how obvious an entry like that is or not. But this tornado trap, I mean, that one is doing amazing of keeping that tunnel safe. And even though with the clone, yes, okay, it's going down, but it was a hard attack for sure for Smokey Bear right there. But those Inferno Dragons are going through the rest for now for the core, through like butter. And now we have those heroes getting reinforced around the top side with the Royal Champion getting added as well.
Oh my god. This is looking good, Itsu. He's got so many Inferno Dragons. Plus the heroes on the outside. Is this the end of Strut's run? Wow, Smokey Bear making it look easy. Look at the amount of Inferno Dragons and heroes. How is this base going to defend this?
That is just crazy. I mean, this is not only a 3-star, it's a huge oracle at the same time. This is deciding the match. Empire had the percentage. Everyone was thinking, okay, the final is going to be a rematch between Tribe Gaming and Strut, especially after the match they yesterday had. And this one is going to be Empire Gaming's match to win. And so far, they're looking incredible strong in this competition. And just wow, I mean, really good game plan with the defensive side. What they came up with those ring bases, forcing Strut to more spammy heavy attacks, which for a lot of pros, they don't like those type of attacks most of the time because there is less controllable, like a lot less control if you compare it to like a Lalo attack. And yeah, that was just the gameplay that they came in with. Strut failed once, and that was the game deciding defense then.
That is incredible to see this team after their performance yesterday get out of the competition. But we said it, basically before every single war where the stats were in favor of one team, the other teams at this stage are so good that they can always score a perfect war. And if you look at the scoreboard at the bottom of the screen, look how close Empire Gaming actually got to this perfect war. Remember, they had a 99% time fail where it really came down to just 1 second if they would triple or not. So they pretty much put up this perfect war right now. So you just have to give it to them. They did an amazing job today, and I feel sorry for Strut, but unfortunately, Empire Gaming kind of won the mind game between defense and offense because they didn't fall for any baits. Maybe Strut didn't estimate correctly what Empire Gaming was going to do on their bases. But yeah, amazing job. It's just crazy. I'm speechless, to be honest. Didn't expect that.
Yeah, I just think at this level it all comes down to like the game plan which you have going into that specific match, because I feel like you see the defense evolving over the tournament, where some teams have started with anti-2, switched to anti-3, and now we're back for some teams with decent success on the defensive side. I mean, at this point, you have to say 14 stars or possibly 14 stars on defense is a success if you're looking at the top 4 teams in the world. And I know some teams are going to say, like, this is not balanced and everything. But the question is, do you balance the game for those 4 teams or for the million of players who are playing the game as well? That's always the big question, because even in the top 8, we have seen teams going out of the match with 10 stars, with 11 stars, with another 10 stars. So not every team is on this level, and balancing then for like 4 teams is like a big question mark to me. But Strut coming in with the last attack, and they want to at least get one more 3-star, and Tryhard is the man to get that one done.
Yeah, you're right there. You definitely have to take that into account. And Tryhard once again is losing his queen. I can't believe. I mean, his queen, same as yesterday. I don't know. Yesterday it was the Tesla farm, but today she just ran around the corner, and it's always so hard because of the rule of 3, guys. The queen always takes the closest 3 buildings into account. So that sometimes, when she's behind the wall, makes her wrap around this wall and target a building that seems to have been out of range or like too far away. And that's exactly what Tryhard's queen did in this second. And yeah, he was surprised. So he was like a half a second late with his rage spell. And the queen died in the ability because there was so much damage going on. And once again, it is down to Tryhard having to save the 2-star in this attack.
Yeah, he's trying to get that 2nd star, which is not that easy with those ring bases, because with the sweeper alive, with possibly red mines alive and everything, it's not going to be easy at all to get that done. But it's really unfortunate to have the queen going down twice in such a big tournament. So I kind of feel bad for him, but at the same time, you feel like this should not happen at this level. Now he's trying to funnel his Lalo while the Dragon Rider taking down that Eagle, and he's already collecting the percentage because the Town Hall needs to be activated then as well. And at this point, it's just all about the 2nd star, just sending everything in and hoping that this Sweeper is not too annoying.
Yes, of course, he wants to say goodbye to this tournament with a 3-star attack. That's completely understandable. But on the other side, I'm pretty sure he can handle this fail better than maybe yesterday's fail or any other fail, because it is in a situation where they cannot win anymore. So it's not that important. It's not that bad. And I know this from experience, and you probably know this too. When your team has already lost, you don't have like the greatest motivation anymore in your attack. Of course, you don't do like worse on purpose than usual, but of course it plays with your psychological state. So you're not in the let's do this, let's win this, and we can get this state anymore. But you're just like, well, we've lost anyway. So completely understandable that mistakes happen. And Tryhard did his best here. He got the 2-star, saved it. I mean, we've had an attack today where the 2-star wasn't saved. So Tryhard showing how it's done. Good job to him. Good job to Strut, but even better job to Empire Gaming, who emerged victorious.
That's right, and that's always the best thing about Clash, which I feel like you always have those upsets happening, and otherwise it would get kind of boring if those average sets would always give us the winner already before the match. So all of those teams, depending on the game plan, and even with that second defense, they had now two defenses which would have been giving them the win as Empire, with Strat falling short twice, one 82%, one 69% two-star from the Strat players. And Empire Gaming, just incredible on offense, only 199, and especially some of their attacks were really mind-blowing, like really strong. And I cannot wait to see, because we are going to play all of the remaining matches of this tournament today. After today, we are going to have the golden ticket winner. And that's the cool thing about this, to see the teams evolving, not only the tournament, but the last day where all of the pressure is on their shoulders.
Absolutely, and Empire Gaming so far is handling the pressure extremely well, kicking out one of the favorites out of this. We want to take a look at one of their attacks where the attacker really didn't let the pressure get to him. We're taking a look at Jesus's Blizzard Lalo attack, where he is starting off with a Lava Hound to check for possible black mines and sending a blimp right behind it into the base. And you know how this works. The blimp opens, and right before the blimp opens, you drop an invisibility spell. Then the troops will be invisible when they get deployed on the map. You add a rage spell, and then you just have to time it perfectly with the invisibility spells. And that's what Jesus did here. Last invisibility spell lets him get the air defense. We talked about the Royal Champion staying up during the attack, but it was okay because she's very low on health, so even the Owl of the Warden could possibly take her out. But now it comes down to the hero dive. And this is incredible base identification from my point of view, because Jesus realizes there is not much damage on this way to the town hall. You can see just an archer tower and a cannon on the way for the queen, so he is checking with some loons and sneaky goblins also for Teslas. And as he realized that there is no damage, he says, okay, I don't need my king to help out my queen to get the town hall. I'm sending my king from the top side of the base, and this will also allow him to send his royal champion into the multi-inferno that is left in his base. So extremely well done by him, and that is why he is Empire Gaming's MVP so far. He was perfect before this match, I think 8 out of 8 if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, still perfect after it. And you can see he's a pro. The heroes are still going, but he is starting his Lalo. This is his comfort zone, the Blizzard Lalo. He loves to do it, and he is an absolute genius when it comes down to it. Warden ability into a lot of damage. Also having the headhunters in there, so the headhunters can quickly take care of the enemy queen. And then it just comes down to spell placement, because you already invested a lot of spells in the Super Wizard Blimp, so you have to be a little slow with the deployment of your remaining spells, being freeze spells and haste spells. But he did perfectly. He even held on to this free spell until the very end, because he knew maybe the Royal Champion is going to run into this single Inferno, so I shouldn't waste it too early. Just a very, very well planned Blizzard Lalo attack from Jesus, and it was actually the attack after which Empire Gaming put the pressure on Strut for tripling, and then they failed. So it was maybe the one of the war deciding attacks, apparently. Good job to Empire Gaming. Congratulations. And now I'm welcoming back Carbon Finn, who will cast the next war together with Itsu, and I'll see you guys later.
Thank